In 1971, a psychologist turned a university basement into a fake prison, assigned ordinary college students to be either guards or prisoners, and had to shut the entire study down after just 6 days. It was originally planned to run for 2 full weeks. This was the Stanford Prison Experiment, led by psychologist Philip Zimbardo, and for decades it was taught in classrooms worldwide as definitive proof that ordinary, healthy people will become cruel if simply given power and the right situation. Before we go further, an important caveat. In recent years, journalists and researchers have uncovered original recordings and interviews suggesting the study was far less spontaneous than originally presented. Guards may have been actively coached toward cruelty, and some now famous breakdowns may have been performances for the researchers rather than genuine reactions. This doesn't erase what happened. It changes what it actually proves. Here's what unfolded. Zimbardo recruited 24 ordinary male students, screened carefully for good mental health, and randomly assigned half to be prisoners, half to be guards. The guards were given uniforms, mirrored sunglasses, and batons, but almost no specific instructions on how to behave. Within just 2 days, several guards had begun inventing degrading punishments. Prisoners were forced into humiliating exercises, stripped of their names in favor of numbers, and denied basic comforts for minor rule violations. One particular guard, later nicknamed John Wayne by the other participants, became especially inventive with his cruelty, adopting an exaggerated accent and escalating punishments each day, seemingly enjoying the authority. Multiple prisoners reportedly experienced genuine emotional distress. One was released early after what appeared to be a real breakdown. Zimbardo himself, who had taken on the role of prison superintendent, later admitted he became so absorbed in the experiment that he nearly lost sight of the fact it was research at all. It took an outside visitor, a graduate student named Christina Maslach, who was horrified watching prisoners being marched to the bathroom with bags over their heads, to confront Zimbardo and convince him to end the study early. I find that detail genuinely striking. It took someone completely outside the situation to see clearly what everyone inside it had stopped noticing. So what was this experiment originally believed to prove? That situational power, not individual character, was the primary driver of cruelty. Put ordinary people in a role with unchecked authority, strip away accountability, and cruelty can emerge disturbingly fast, according to the original interpretation. This idea is called situationism, and it argues that context shapes behavior far more powerfully than most people assume. We like to believe cruelty comes from cruel people. Situationism suggests cruelty can come from ordinary people, placed in the wrong circumstances. But the more recent critiques complicate this considerably. If guards were actively coached toward harsher behavior, the experiment may say less about spontaneous human nature and more about how people behave when they believe an authority figure wants a particular outcome from them. Which is, in its own way, an equally unsettling finding. Not that ordinary people spontaneously become cruel, but that ordinary people will readily perform cruelty when they believe it's expected of them by someone in charge. You've likely experienced a much gentler version of this yourself. Going along with a joke you found genuinely unkind because everyone around you was laughing. Following an instruction at work you privately disagreed with, simply because someone with authority asked you to. The Stanford Prison Experiment's specific numbers and drama may not hold up to modern scientific scrutiny, but the deeper, more uncomfortable question it raises about authority, expectation, and conformity has been repeatedly confirmed in other, more rigorously controlled studies since. So here's the thought worth sitting with. It's comforting to believe cruelty requires a cruel person underneath it. The far more uncomfortable possibility is that it might only require the right situation, and someone else quietly expecting it of you.